In this video, I will go through the section body in the pattern. So on my first round, I need to place my sleeves on a stitch holder or cable so I can work the body. So for that, I need these stitch holders. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna knit onto my sleeves. The raglan stitches are incorporated into the body. So I will just knit to my marker, my raglan stitches, and I don't need my markers anymore, so I'm just gonna move them, put them away, and then I will knit my raglan stitches, which is just now normal stitches. And now I need one of these stitch holders. I just tied a knot in the end of one, and then I will put it on my needle, and I will just slowly slide all my stitches onto this stitch holder. So these are one of my sleeves. So until I reach the marker, I will slip all my stitches onto the stitch holder like that. So I just tie a knot in the other end so the stitches won't fall off the stitch holder. And then I need to cast on, depending on my size, 6 or 8 stitches with the back loop method. So I have to make a loop with my yarn like this, and I put it on the needle and I tighten the yarn. Just continue to have the right number of stitches. And then I continue to work the front, and these 2 raglan stitches, they are incorporated into the body, and I just move the marker. And now I knit across the front until I reach my next marker for the left sleeve. And I move the marker, knit my 2 raglan stitches, and move the marker. And now I repeat the same on the left sleeve as I did with the right sleeve. So I'm gonna put all the stitches on a stitch holder. And I do it a bit carefully so they won't fall off. And then I can just slide them over. And there. And now I can pull the stitch holder through all the stitches, and I just tie knots so they won't fall off. Okay, and now I need to cast on using the same method as before. I use the backward loop method, so I just make a loop with my yarn and I put it on the needle and tightening it. And then I knit my 2 raglan stitches, which are now just normal stitches, and I move the marker and I will knit to my bore marker. So now I put my sleeve stitches on hold, and I now just have all the stitches for the body on my needle. So you can see here. So you can see the shape of the sweater now. And now I just need to work in the round in stockinette stitch, meaning I just knit all my stitches around and around until I reach the desired length of the sweater. And when you have to measure the length of the body, you can measure from the underarm right here. So you just measure here, and it's a good idea when you reach a certain length to try it on. I just show you how the first round how to work over these stitches you casted on using the backward loop method. So I just knit until I reach the stitches that I casted on. And you can knit them normally. But on the first row it can be easier to knit them through the back loop like this. And you only do this on the first round. On the next round you would just knit them as a knit stitch. But on the first round it's a bit easier to knit them through the back loop. So now I knitted it around, and it can be a good idea to measure it and add more centimeters if you like, or try it on to make sure you reach the desired length. And before you move on to the next video and the next section in the pattern called body hem.